Sarah Chen, the investigator, finally got a break in January 2022. She found a name connected to Elena's digital footprint. Not Elena Ruiz, Elena Vasquez. And before that, Elena Morrison. And before that, Laura Keene. 4 names, 4 identities, 4 different lives. Sarah traced Laura Keene back to 2014. She'd been married to a man named Gerald Keene, a 62-year-old widower in Arizona. Gerald had filed charges against Laura in 2016 for financial exploitation. She'd drained his accounts, sold property without his knowledge, and disappeared before police could arrest her. The charges were eventually dropped when Gerald died of a heart attack in 2017. Elena Morrison appeared in Nevada in 2018, engaged to a retired teacher named Philip Morrison. That engagement ended abruptly when Philip's daughter discovered inconsistencies in Elena's background and threatened to go to the police. Elena disappeared before that could happen. Elena Vasquez surfaced in Portland in 2019, briefly involved with an older man whose family intervened before any financial damage was done. And now, she was Elena Ruiz, engaged to Thomas Brennan. Sarah's report included criminal complaints, financial records, and witness statements from 3 separate families who'd been targeted by this woman. It was 53 pages long, and it arrived in Daniel's inbox on the 10th of March, 2022, 8 days before the wedding. Daniel read every page twice. Then he called his father. Thomas didn't answer. Daniel drove to the house. Elena answered the door. She smiled at him, calm and pleasant, and said Thomas didn't want to see him. That maybe after the wedding they could all sit down and talk. Daniel asked to speak to his father anyway. Elena said no, very politely, and closed the door. Daniel stood on that porch, holding a folder full of evidence, knowing his father was inside, knowing Elena had successfully isolated him, and he realized he had one chance left, one moment where his father couldn't ignore him: the wedding itself. 35-0, 45-0 the wedding day. The 18th of March 2022. Saturday. Unseasonably warm for Ohio in March, 68 degrees and sunny. Brennan Chapel looked beautiful. White flowers everywhere. Pews filled with Thomas's friends, his old firefighter crew, neighbors, people who'd known him for decades. Daniel wasn't invited, but he came anyway. He wore a suit. He carried a folder. And he waited in the parking lot until the ceremony started. Inside, Thomas stood at the altar in his best suit, hands trembling slightly, eyes scanning the crowd. He looked happy, nervous, hopeful.